Alrighty, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order at 6 o'clock. I'll entertain a motion from the select board to recess to convene the pre-town meeting first.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Then we'll go ahead and call the meeting, the select board meeting back to order out of recess. And I will entertain a motion to move into executive session under 1 VSA 313A3 to discuss, that's what I'm trying to get out of the room, to discuss hiring employees. All those in favor? Aye. Called, come out of executive at 7 o'clock.
Who called it in?
I don't know, Crystal made the motion.
Sam, yeah.
And I,
313-3A.
yes,
Yeah.
Will seconded to discuss personnel. As a result, no
Okay.
resolution.
You, actually, yeah, okay, sorry, never mind. Actually, additions and deletions should take a short. All right, got it.
Okay. So, do you want to do the discussion about when we're going to get together to do those, or do you want to do that now or at the end?
We'll do that at the end.
You want to do it at the end? All right. Then we'll move on to approval of the minutes I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from February 12th, 2019.
So moved. Second.
Is there any discussion?
I have a couple of things. I just have two changes to recommend to the February
Well, that's actually the 13th, I'm sorry.
February 13, so is it?
It must be the 13th.
It was good. We canceled the 12th.
Oh, that's right, it was a snowstorm.
So page 2 of that, if you could just make an addendum to the Grace Cottage Common Use Policy discussion that we held, and please add that Mansfield abstained from voting on the set rate for Grace Cottage rental of the town common. It's in all other the other paragraphs, correct, but it's not in that one. I just want to be clear. So under number 7, correspondence.
Got that.
Says the second paragraph says Frisk then made a motion to set the rate for Grace Cottage's use of the town common on May 11, 2019 at $100. Second by Ray, carried by those present. I did not vote on that. I abstained. Thank
Did you have something else on that?
you. Nope,
Just
first
the
one was
one?
just the date.
Anything else? Then all those in favor of approving the minutes as corrected, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the special meeting on February 18th, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the special meeting minutes from February 18th, 2019, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
Motion passes. Additions and deletions?
I have one.
Go ahead, you do yours first.
Under highway, I'd like to add discussion and approval for a monitoring agreement for the fire alarm system at the town garage.
The fire alarm system?
Yes.
All right.
That's under highway report. Or under new business, highway report. Okay.
And under new business, I'd like to add discussion of town hall rentals. I have 2 that we need to take a look at. And I'd like to also add a liquor license. Yeah, the town hall's gonna have a liquor license, that sounds good. And then under correspondence, I need to add a piece of correspondence, an email from Terry Berger. Is there anything else that needs to be added? Oh, yes, there is, actually. Under old business, the Historical Society draft letter on the weight limit for the bridge. Okay, is there anything else that needs to be added or taken off? Okay. Then I will entertain a motion to take the agenda out of order and take members of the public first.
So moved.
Second?
Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Mr. Beatty? All right, Mr. Davis, here comes Mr. Davis too. So he's in the spotlight by himself.
I appreciate that, yeah, that was. So yes, I'm going to assume you've read the letter
Yes.
to the,
Are you the fire chief?
Yes.
yes.
Thank you, sir.
So you did have a chance to read it? So our hope is basically to get your support approval to allow us to do the feasibility study on Taft Meadows. Because the one that was done years ago was on a different type of building and all the codes, so much has changed that it's gonna be, the information's not valid anymore. So our thought is if we can do this, then we can move it forward to replace the existing fire station, which has been, it's been looked at for replacement, I think, for 20 years maybe,
At least.
like that. A long time. And also, are all you guys staying on the board, or nobody knows? Well, I didn't know if everybody's locked up in a
This could be my last select board meeting.
so,
Go ahead.
and that was my question is, you know, how you want to proceed with this, or at least how this board.
There seemed to be, at least the comments that were circulating in the audience prior to this, seemed to indicate that it is going to be a discussion at some point in time. I'm really wondering if we shouldn't have maybe a special get-together to just discuss the proposal, you know, and see what the temperature of the community is with respect to Taft Meadows, because as I've said before, there seems to be a lot of resistance to building on that parcel for whatever reason.
Correct.
And rather than you spending money to find out, you know, to go to the design through that whole piece, it would make sense to know if they're not going to support it from the very beginning, giving the public that we know that ahead of time. So perhaps the fire department and the select board, after we get done reorganizing in a week, could have some kind of a joint public discussion about what you're proposing, what the letter basically says. You can lay it out in a little bit more detail as to what you'd like to do, you know, where on the field you'd like to put it, because I know you've kind of talked about it, at least as
But
far
again,
as.
that goes back to the feasibility study because we're not engineers and
No, but
that could change.
I think you've got a good idea, you know, so that you can assure people, for example, that it's not going to be 5 feet off the road
Right.
type thing. I think those kinds of questions are easy to handle up front so that we don't have misconceptions going into this discussion. If anybody else has any other suggestions, I just think that'd be the best way to engage the community. You know, it's right after town meeting, let's bring it up either under the discussion about the money for the fire truck or the money under non-binding business, but we got it in the flyer, they've all gotten their letters. Now let's just bring it up at town meeting and just say, okay, we'd like to have a public discussion about where to go for the fire department with this piece of property or this building.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine that the question will come up at town meeting as to whether you guys have thoughts on where it should be, how it should be done. So,
You can also have David Lebo give you some space to stand up and, in as much, give an announcement that you would like to have that discussion every time. And it is obviously non-binding, but at the same time to float a trial balloon, have the temperature taken, and then have a special meeting so that you get a feel for, the big issue is to have notice.
Correct.
And
It's not
really,
the station,
it's not really up to the board to award it, so to speak, but I don't think you're gonna meet that much resistance, but there is some out there. But I think it's, my feeling is it's gonna be a go. But, see.
So if that works for you, as soon as we get through next week, I'll be in touch. And we'll see if we can't try to coordinate with the fire department to decide on a night, hopefully with no weather, that we can all go to, because you can't go on weather either. So somebody talk to the weatherman very nicely.
But if you can announce that at town meeting as well, that a meeting will be
Well,
coming up within the next couple of, we're gonna try to hold a public meeting in a couple of weeks, kind of thing. Watch this space,
Yes.
to have a public discussion about, and to go for this,
I mean-
discuss the feasibility study, but also the location and.
Well, and there's a little time for at least the sitting board members to think about it and decide, I mean, if it's, I mean, yeah, I would assume you'd have to warn it and
Yeah,
and all
but
that, so
it's,
however long that
that's only a couple of days just to get the information out. And I know what you're going to say, but what you say it, not me,
You know what I'm gonna say?
probably.
No, I'm just saying, remember that you've got an awful lot of stuff going on with schools the next month. So when you're trying to schedule a meeting with the public for the fire station, try to avoid the dates.
So I'll make sure that we have your calendar, the school's calendar, the fire department's calendar, my calendar, and we will find a day that.
And a weather report.
And a weather report. I know that there's no problem with all of us getting together. How's
Well,
that
maybe if
sound?
you have a bonfire too, I mean, that would be great.
We can make it an open, bring your own bottle party, and I'll bet you a lot of people will show up.
And they won't even all be Townsend residents.
No, they won't. But anyway,
No, that sounds fine.
if that gives you.
Because we definitely should, yes, get together and
And it would be really helpful because I think an awful lot of people don't actually see the fire department as an entity. It would be nice if there could be a good showing of the active members of the department there as well, so that you could start to put names and faces and personalities in the same room together, and then begin to understand why the needs are what the needs are. I mean, Brian's also a very good spokesman for the fire department as well. And it would be nice to have him, kind of from the mechanic standpoint there, talking about some of the issues he runs into with the station you've got now. You don't have enough elbow room to lift up a hood. So, yeah, if you could have the majority of the active members, that would be really good. Maybe we could schedule it on one of your regular meeting nights. I don't know when you meet.
second Thursdays are our business and the fourth Monday is our work. Business meeting might be tougher to pull that one off.
Okay, well, maybe the Monday would work.
But I
then.
mean,
But it's still the weather. I mean, I'm sorry, him and him is still the weather.
yes, yeah.
Okay, but like I said, as soon as we get reorganized after the board, I'll be in touch.
Okay.
And we'll try to pull something together so we can have this discussion in a public forum and get some input from everyone before you spend any money.
No, makes perfect sense.
When
And
is the-
that was, the question is how do we get that piece from
Ball rolling.
the public to, I mean, I was hoping that, we'll get some through
You should
the
from your
letter. I'm
letter.
hoping
Yeah.
we've given them a couple of avenues,
Yeah.
either by paper or by, electronically to give us feedback, so.
Well, I know we'll get it, make sure it gets up on the website, we'll get it posted. We'll mention it at our next regular meeting, if we don't end up having this before. Again, there'll be a public discussion of the proposal for the potential for a new firehouse. So we'll play it up from that standpoint as well.
Can you tell me so that it sounds like the funding is secured to do the feasibility study through, this letter says a couple of generous local anonymous donors. Where's the funding for construction come from?
Why do you think they're asking?
Well, you have
I
some
just want to
donors.
hear
That's
that.
why I'm here.
And you can't apply for any grants until you actually have a design
Right.
in place. So you can't search for money until you have something that says this is what we're going to
This is
buy.
what we want to build.
So there's potential to do like a bond and then look for grants and all.
There's
we
rural
can't-
development grants, there's,
I certainly agree that the
couple of
taxpayers.
But we can't come to the townspeople and ask them to build something for us when we can't even give you
Right.
even a
Ballpark.
rough ballpark figure. of what-
Yeah.
And that's where the feasibility study would
Right.
give us that to give the voters.
Good.
Okay, any other questions for them? We'll make sure this does move forward then after we get through town meeting. And if you're prepared, or somebody that's gonna be at town meeting to be able to answer any questions that might come as a result of the letter, that would be helpful as well.
So there's, I think in any given town meeting, there's usually 4 or 5 of us sitting there.
And we can corner the moderator beforehand and just tell him that this is coming, this discussion will come at some point in time. And that, you know, it is germane to a lot of different pieces of that budget as it stands, be it your budget, be it the pumper budget, or, you know, it's, even under non-binding business, there's a lot of places we can slide this and have that discussion. So, as long as you're okay with that, we'll just keep pushing
We'll
forward.
answer everything we can with what we have answers for. I mean, we have some, obviously.
Well,
We don't have them all.
you're also the ones that have been in the building, and you know what the issues are, and then parking's very clear. I mean, your building is on your footprint, you don't have a legal right of way on either side of it, really. So, yeah, there's definitely a need there, there's no doubt. So unless somebody else has any questions, I guess we'll just go forward with that plan. It's another meeting, guys, sorry, I didn't do that on purpose. Is that okay?
Thank you very
Okay.
much, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, We'll,
And thank you for the help with the town
Yeah,
reports.
oh,
That was great.
yeah.
Okay.
All
You can
right,
go,
Thanks.
I'll be in touch as soon as we reorganize.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, we can definitely get it orchestrated on our
Yep.
find a date.
Okay, we certainly will. Thank you. All right, so let's take the agenda back into its regular order. The next thing would be the warrants, wherever they ended up. No, they're right there. In the file.
Make a motion that we check warrant number 1 out of the payroll in the amount of $13,062.58.
Second.
Now, wait a minute. We've got to give them a chance to catch up.
Gotta be fast.
Stop. I handed you the warrants. All right. And you motioned, okay, there was a first and a second, okay.
Yep.
So any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving payroll warrant number 1 in the amount of $13,062.58 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 2, payroll tax in the amount of $5,595.95.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying payroll tax warrant number 2 in the amount of $5,595.95 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? The motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 3 out of the general fund in the amount of $12,313.99.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying general fund warrant number 3 in the amount of $12,313.99 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 4 out of the highway fund, the amount of $17,374.17.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying highway fund warrant number 4 in the amount of $17,374.17 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes.
Make a motion to pay check warrant number 5 out of the equipment fund, the amount of $9,549.51.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying equipment warrant number 5 in the amount of $9,549.51 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Okay, so moving on then to the highway report.
We had some issues with the boiler, the heating system at the town garage. We took the cover off and found that it was last serviced in 2014 by Osterman. So I did call them to come out and look at it. It's opened up boiler, can't believe it runs. Coils are totally loaded with contaminated debris, chipped and vacuumed what I dared to, soaked and ran with butcher oil. The heat exchanger is in very poor shape, not worth time or effort, needs to be replaced, as well as the venturi tube, pressure switch, and all gaskets. Asterisk, boiler is 10 years old, may be time to replace. He says it will make the winter, but we're gonna have to at least find a heat exchanger and some other parts to get it tuned up for next year. The fire alarm system in the building has not been monitored or inspected since 2015. The town hall and the fire department use Countryside lock and alarms for its system. I have been in contact with them. They can do the garage. I have a monitor and agreement here for us to look at and sign if we agree this is what we want to do, at the same price that the town hall and the fire department is done. So we can look at this under new business if you would like.
Okay, the only thing, how successful have we been?
On camera,
Can't take it off.
it's a waste of money. What needs to be found, further investigation needs to be done. I'm not confident that Countryside monitoring is the be-all end-all. They're a long way away. I don't know who else is in the area. They did put in the system. It does cost us whatever it costs us, $300 a year. We basically
Just
have to call
200.
them in order to get service, because we don't get an annual service, which is part of the contract. We have to remind them. This year has gone fairly well, but last year, you'll remember, the fire alarm went off every time the wind blew, and we never got noticed. I mean, it was supposed to be.
Constantly beeping and then.
Right.
Yeah, no, I was resetting it every morning, resetting it during the day. It was just one of those things. Every time somebody showed up to use the town hall, I'd get a call. In any case, there's more. We've tried to set the protocols differently. We've had some not good luck with it. In any case, I would advocate that the highway garage absolutely has to be on a system.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe Countryside did put that in. I don't know why it hasn't been inspected since 2015, but I replaced the fire extinguishers here that were out of date since 2014. And that's not Countryside, that's a different thing. But these inspections need to take place on a regular basis. The contractual arrangement needs to be reliable. I would revamp both the contracts for both here and the highway garage if you're looking to go forward with it. And I would probably advocate that you do that. But I would have a new sheet as to what the obligations are here, what the protocols are, how people are notified in the event of a fire. Because every time the smoke alarm goes off here, and the motion detectors and everything else, the fire department doesn't get called, nobody comes, nobody calls me, nobody calls Anita, nobody calls you, nobody calls Kurt Gates. It just rings and rings and rings. It doesn't notify Key Mutual Aid, it doesn't get into the system. And the people that are monitoring it, 75, 80 miles away, aren't letting us know.
Okay.
So maybe the thing we ought to do is put out an RFP to see who might be
Who
able to
does that?
provide service for
Yeah.
the three buildings.
I've talked to the principals at Countryside and just have them revisit what it is that they're obliged to do. And if something goes wrong, if one of these systems goes wonky, then they need to have somebody in the area that'll respond
Well, I know
on a
we,
real-time basis. It is a public
Seems
building.
like we'd be better served to find out who else
Potentially.
does this
Sure,
and put it up.
Sure, and there are.
I mean, yeah, there's what Code 3 in Brattleboro does that kind of thing.
Yeah, they do and they don't. They haven't followed through on the, well, anyway, but yeah, there are other people to talk to.
I mean, we did have serious issues last year with the batteries, low batteries upstairs on the vaulted ceilings. And that was really interesting to
Yeah, and
try
I've
to get
replaced the batteries here. Only
somebody to
They're
come,
expensive, but we've replaced them because you can't wait for them to come down.
come down and
Right,
replace
Right.
them, so.
Anyway,
it might not hurt to go ahead and put out an RFP and see if we can't get some type of a response from, see who does it.
Yeah.
And at least codify what the responsibilities are, because I've never been notified. I don't believe Anita's ever been notified when the alarms go off, and they go off constantly, or they were going off constantly.
So in this agreement, they're looking for a 4-year, which I would assume we're under already some type of
Yeah, I don't
contractual
remember, I can look up
for
the
town hall and
contract, find
fire
out what the term
department.
is. Yeah. That's what's the contract, and see what the terms are. We just pay the bill every year, because I send the bill every year, and we call them when we need them, but
It's not what you think, or it's not what you would anticipate, is I think what the best way to put that. So let's kind of look into it a little bit more. I'll pull the contract, see if I can find the contract for the
Okay.
town, and we'll compare it to what's there and just see if we need more clarification.
And if we are in the middle of a contract, then, we can lean on them to hold up their end of the bargain.
Okay, so do you have something else, Steve?
I do. Salt. I'm trying to get an accurate number year-to-date where we are with salt. We're very, very close to our budget number. I started keeping track of salt usage on December 1st. We've used salt 27 different days since December 1st because of all the ice storms that we've had. So I believe I'm at my budget number, and I need salt. So my recommendation would be to get one load in, and a typical load of salt is approximately 26 to 28 tons. And we'll do one truck at a time as needed, depending on how long this winter
Keeps
drags
going.
on. We already know we have a storm tomorrow. We also have a storm on Saturday. So I need salt.
So somebody want to make a motion, because we did set an amount to allow for the expansion of the amount of allowed salt.
Yeah, I would
I didn't think you were that there yet.
I think I am.
You think you're?
The only numbers I don't have is how much salt was purchased prior to my arrival. There was some.
There was one load, I believe, as I remember.
Yeah, I don't know what that
Sounds
number
We
is.
put some in the shed.
Yeah.
So
Well, I would move to allow the expansion of the salt budget for the next load for the coming storms.
just a second. Is there any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of allowing for the purchase of additional salt signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Okay, so, we just have something else.
In conclusion,
Oh, no, he's got a bad news list.
I am upset to have to report that the Dodge received its first dent
Oh, no.
while being washed last Friday.
While being washed?
The snow slid off the roof
Oh, no.
Oh,
and
God.
dented the hood of the truck.
He did a good job, too.
So these are photographs for everyone to see.
Oh, rats. Do you typically park vehicles on the
He would have been killed if he was standing there.
snow?
Yeah,
side,
right.
On that side?
Well,
That's where
every
they pull
door,
in and out,
that's
right?
where we pull in and out.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a bummer.
Tell you,
Wow.
It
a
hit
good
the
thing-
backhoe too, but didn't damage the backhoe.
It's a good thing no one was standing there.
yeah.
Really, right?
I was washing the back of the truck when it went.
That's insane.
So what, let's be thankful it wasn't a workers' comp claim.
So I did
Yeah.
call VLCT, they sent me the proper insurance forms to fill out, which was very simple to fill out because there was no driver, there was no other vehicle, there were no injuries. So,
It's
So
just
nothing more than the pride.
Yeah.
It's just the hood.
Yeah.
Also,
Note for the summer, paint a line. You must be this far from the garage when there's snow on the roof.
I'll have to buy another garden hose too.
Uh-oh,
Get another 50 feet out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so is there anything else, or is that all your bad news
That's all
for the
I can
day?
do.
Okay, good, thank you very much. You did a good job tonight, Stephen. All right, so the town clerk, I didn't see.
I didn't see counter money.
I didn't see a counter money, so we're kind of off kilter anyway, so it'll probably be in the next grouping. And I received a note from the treasurer telling me how much money we have And we have in the sweep account, $1,114,149.74. And in the checking, we have $31,204.50.
It's over. Yep.
That's because they haven't swept. And he has to be deposited as of today, $113,825.45.
Which is in his pocket.
Next is in check, so I won't. So that's where the treasurer's piece is. Okay, so then moving on to correspondence, and this one kind of dovetails with the highway department anyway. It says, hello, I coordinate student interns at Leland Gray, and I currently have 2 students working with Brian Schmidt and his auto restoration business. Brian would like them to observe and assist him with some work he's doing on a fire truck that is located at the town garage. We are wondering if this is an option or if there is any reason this would not be allowed. Thank you for your consideration. Take care, Terry Davidson Berger. So,
when they're putting the motor back in the brush truck, if someone's finger gets caught in something, who's liable for their injuries?
that would be us.
The town.
Our equipment, our building.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, does the internship program carry some sort of umbrella policy?
It should.
I would think, right?
But
I mean, several years back, didn't they do the same thing down at Wayne's garage?
yeah, that wasn't the town. That's Wayne.
Right.
That wasn't a
Private
school?
business.
Well,
It
it
was
was
a
the school.
Yeah.
But, so what did it fall under? The
I
private?
don't know because the town wasn't involved in that. The
Right.
town was simply one of the potential recipients of an intern to come in and understand town government a little bit or shadow, some employees here or something like that. They ended up down at Wayne's. There were a couple of places they were looking at. Wayne agreed, and somebody went down there a couple of weeks, I don't know, maybe longer than that. And there have been a couple of things around town. This one is the school should cover it because it's a program, but again, it's only dedicated to that exact timing when you've got the chain on while they're actually working on that truck. If somebody wanders into the bathroom, if something else happens somewhere else, again, it's in a town building.
The snow falls off the
you're
roof.
right. I was
Falls
just
off
gonna
the
say.
roof, right. I mean, I think further conversation is obviously necessary at a minimum.
Well, I would think more than anything, we'd need to check with our insurance carrier.
Yeah.
Just to see what kind of liability we might be looking at, particularly since you're working at an occupation that is considered to be one of the high risk for workers' comp.
Well, and it's not even an employee of the town, Steve, taking somebody on a
Right.
tour of the town in a town truck kind of thing. This is a volunteer fire department. The fire department is using the highway garage
Right.
as a facility in order to work on a vehicle with an intern. You don't know how.
But the
old-
fire department is in fact
Well, yep. they are.
insured through
Yeah.
passive.
Yes.
So I think it's worth a conversation, if nothing else, with the insurance carrier,
Yeah, we should at least contact them and see.
just to see what our liability might be before we respond to that.
I agree.
Okay? Alrighty. And we will find out from the insurance carrier.
Rescue is present. You don't want to say.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all the actual correspondence that I have. The Historical Society draft letter. I'm gonna find it again, it's gone, there it is. Did you all get a chance to take a look at that and see about approving that to have them send out to the businesses for basically making note of the fact that the Stone Arch Bridge does have a weight limit it's 10, if nothing else.
Right. Yeah, it's for informational purposes.
Right.
Yeah, I looked it over, looked fine to me.
Anybody have any issues with us telling the Historical Society that it's okay to go ahead and send the letter out to these businesses? No? All right, then if we could make note in the minutes, and we'll make sure that Mr. Marchant is aware of the fact that we don't have a problem sending that out.
So that's gonna be, that's a joint letter between us all.
It's actually, it's actually not.
Okay.
No, it's,
Yeah,
it's,
it's
it's
just
from the
Historical
Historical
Society.
Society.
Yeah.
But it's because it's our bridge, they asked for our approval before they
Right,
send it.
general consent, select board endorses the
Yeah.
historical
Yeah.
society's overture.
So then we have 2 requests to use the town hall. The first one is for a memorial service on May 4th, for a town resident. And I need to know what your feelings are on approval and or whether or not there would be a fee associated with use of the town hall for the funeral.
How many people?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
It just is a memorial service.
So quite a few.
But
Well, I think it should be allowed.
yeah,
So somebody want to go ahead and make a
yeah.
motion
I would move
to
that we approve the application to
hold a
use the town
memorial service
hall.
on
Yep.
May 4th?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, what about the fee?
I think for a memorial service, we should waive the fee.
I agree.
Okay, so is there any?
So at no fee,
Yeah.
at no charge.
So is there any additional discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor of allowing a memorial service on May 4th to use the town hall, free of charge, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. The second one, and this one has the potential to have a problem, is for a wedding to be held in the town hall on August 3rd, which happens to also be Fair Day.
Oh,
Oh, parking.
Yeah,
yeah.
which I brought to their attention today. We don't know what time of the day this is supposed to happen, but, any time before 4 o'clock, you can't get even close to the town hall.
Right.
So,
Yeah, well, shouldn't we let them deal with that?
well, yeah, we just made them aware today
Okay.
and basically said, but as far as approval goes, do you have any issues with renting the town hall out for a wedding on the 3rd of August if they can accommodate the parking situation?
I don't.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
They're gonna-
Alcohol policy here?
It's written in that policy.
It is.
Okay, any further questions? So is there a motion to go ahead and allow that? And
Yes.
seconded? Okay.
Yeah.
So that
Second.
all those in favor of allowing a wedding, or allowing for a wedding to rent the town hall on August 3rd, at the regular fee for the use of the town hall, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion passes, so I'll get these out and back to the people. We'll find out what happens on the one in August, because if it's a daytime wedding, they're gonna have a hard
Yeah,
time
are they
getting
doing
anybody.
it ceremony or reception, both?
It doesn't say,
Oh, okay.
it just says a wedding. They already have insurance, we're one step ahead of the game.
All right.
Let's see, so that was under that. We have now, this is a new one, this caught me off guard. A liquor license, first class liquor license, no less, for a Big Picture Farm LLC.
Which is Wisconsin.
Peking Mountain.
Pekin
Pekin
Mountain.
Mountain.
Mountain Road, yeah.
So would anyone like to make a motion to
First
approve?
class is
Is serving alcohol.
on the premises,
Mm-hmm.
on premise, okay.
Cheese tasting.
Yeah, I was gonna say they must be doing, yeah.
No, but
And
this-
more.
And more with first class.
I'd make a motion to approve the liquor license for Big Picture Farm.
Second.
Is there any further discussion on that? I gotta find the signature. Okay. So all those in favor of approving the liquor license, our first class liquor license for Big Picture Farm, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. Okay, so that's the page that gets signed.
They do dinners up there too, right? They used to.
Okay, so this is,
Tried to get into one, but they were sold out.
Yeah, that's for us.
Yeah,
Limited to 5 proposals.
yeah.
Over on the side.
Yeah.
no, you did that the last time. Thank you. Okay, so those are those can go back. Where are we here? Other business. So this is where we're going to have our discussion of when we can get together again
Yes.
to do some more interviews. Oh, it's way over there.
You have Wi-Fi here?
Yep.
You do?
Yeah, but don't ask me for the password because I couldn't tell you what it is to save my soul. Do you have it, Will?
What?
Password for here?
For the Wi-Fi?
Yep.
It's,
Don't say it on camera.
right.
Don't say it on camera.
I'm not going to, I'm going forward here.
Good one.
It's password with a capital P.
We already have enough trouble with people parking out front using the Wi-Fi in the building.
We used to have that problem with the bar I worked at. So whenever I'd see someone, I'd just go unplug the router.
Yeah,
Just for like 5 minutes.
just enough to discourage them, yep. See, today's the 26th.
There is under meetings, next meeting obviously is town meeting, 10 o'clock on,
What a
Fifth.
perfect time to have
Yeah.
interviews.
but there is a reorganizational meeting after town meeting.
Yeah.
So just, whenever that adjourns.
So does anybody have any suggestions as to when? I mean, I will need to get in touch with the candidates. We have, like I said, I'll get you some applications to review, for the ones you haven't seen, and then we'll interview.
I could do,
Thursday the 7th?
I could do Thursday the 7th.
Thursday the 7th.
It's making a monstrous assumption I get elected.
Looking all day. Right, all of us.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wednesday.
Someone can do
Wednesday-
Thursday the 7th.
Wednesday after 4,
better.
Thursday after, anytime after 12, next week,
Thursday afternoon, you mean?
Thursday afternoon, anytime in the afternoon.
How are you in days right now, right?
Oh, very good.
Okay. Can you do the
I won't be
three-
like out of town or anything.
Can you do like 3 o'clock with Steve after he gets out of work, or is that too early?
Fine.
Can you do any days earlier?
Yeah, I can, yeah, I could, if I go in at 5, I can do that. Yeah.
So do you have a day that the weather isn't going to be bad, that we could actually get you out of work at 3 o'clock? And
Well, we'll try, you wanna try the 7th?
you want to try the 7th?
Okay.
Thursday the 7th?
Yep.
Okay, and start at the beginning at 3? Does that work? Okay. You want to do back-to-back 3:45,
Yep,
Yep.
if I can?
we can.
Okay, then I'll see what I can come up with and let you all know. Okay, so the next meeting is town meeting, needless to say, which is the 5th of March. And then immediately thereafter, there will be a reorganization meeting of the select board to elect officers. That meeting is being warned. So I'm assuming you all will be here. If not, thank you all. And while I'm here, before we go, I do want to thank Mr. Hunt for all of his years helping us. both at the board level and in numerous other jobs throughout the town for everything from septic compliance to, I can't even remember all the different school board.
Best fence viewer the town has ever had, I'm told.
Aware of cold, he's been, no less. So yes, I do want to thank him and appreciate all the help he's given me in my 5-year tenure. And it wouldn't have been easy.
I'd like to
Without
echo
it.
those sentiments.
Thank you,
It's
Greg.
much easier than drawn out, I'm sure.
Okay, so if no one else has anything in addition,
I move to adjourn.
okay, at 7:45.
Second.
Thank you all.